So I'm here at the Pi International Meditation Retreat Center, and this place is beautiful. I'm here with the Pape team, and we're here to conduct a 3-day meditation retreat, giving the locals an opportunity to be with the monks, to listen to Dhamma talks, and then to get an opportunity and a chance to actually sit and practice meditation. The place here is ideal for people wanting to quiet their mind, to have a space for themselves. We have beautiful hot springs here, but as you can see, nature is really nice. The facility here is just very nice and pleasant. But today I wanted to take the time. The year is wrapping up. We're coming and we're approaching a brand new year. And I wanted to have an intimate conversation where something I can leave you with. And first, we need to acknowledge that this year was not easy. This year had a lot of changes that impacted the whole world that we were not expecting, and it created this new normal. So every person on this planet was affected by COVID. Every person, it shifted their world, and we're starting to get our balance back. We're starting to find this new normal. And for me, I just wanted to leave some words that may be beneficial for you and to go into the new year. But I was reflecting on it and I'm like, what can I share? And I think the one thing that comes up is the Buddha's teaching of don't be reckless, don't be careless. And this situation that we're experiencing, what's happening with the world, kind of exposed that because we were not ready for it. And for me to illustrate this point, and why I chose this topic was because of a situation that happened this week. As monks, we get asked often to meet with the local people and for different ceremonies, from weddings to people celebrating their new houses to birth of their children, and different situations. But this one was touching. This one was touching because we were invited by one of the local villagers to attend her house. At this moment, her mom was just very sick. Her mom was extremely ill and apparently on her deathbed and just clinging on and just holding on to her last breath. With this, they wanted to make sure that the mom transitioned successfully. So of course, in the Asian culture, they would invite the monks to come to their homes to give blessings and just really give the family a peace of mind. So for us, of course, we would go to the house, or we did go to the house. Inside the house, we saw the mom, the woman. She was on her bed. She was covered up with blankets. At that time, she was still alert. She was still breathing, and you can tell by her eyes that she was able to follow and she was able to track. So her bed was in the middle of the room. And around the room, which is her family, specifically her I believe it was either 2 or 3 daughters, but of course with extended family as well. So we went to say hello to the family, went to greet them just to see the situation, gave them some words of encouragement, listened to them, open our heart to them, and then of course what we typically do is just give them a blessing. This one, we did a chanting where it was the Dhammachak. And the blessing, the chanting is about 17 minutes long. And for us, we just got into this space, trying to make sure that the mom, that the family is relaxed. So chanting with the monks, being around the monks gives them that calmness, gives them that peace. So slowly, we begin our chanting. Slowly, everyone starts to slow down. Everyone starts to get their mind still, because in this kind of situation where you have a family member who is sick, of course, your mind's going to wander. Of course, your mind's going to think and keep going. But we begin to chant. more than 2/3 of the way in, you can tell the mom just was more and more relaxed. Again, she closed her eyes, and what was interesting is that in that moment before the chanting ended, she took her last breath, and then she was no longer with us. To be with the daughters who were holding her hands, who was crying by her side, really just in that moment exposed just the nature of life and how sensitive it really is. And that's why, for me, having to witness this kind of event, I just wanted to pass this on of sometimes we can get used to our normal because we've been working so hard to develop this lifestyle around us. But again, life is very volatile. Life is very fragile, and not a preachy way, but it's just with COVID, with all these things happening, it just again exposed how short life is. And with that, then how do we take the time to live our life properly? When we were with the family, and to see the gentleness of the daughters, just looking to the mom's arms, looking to the mom's eyes, holding her hands and just talking to her the very last minute of her life. No one was talking about conflicts. No one was talking about their money and their business. None of that. But in the very last moments, they just wanted to remind their mom that be gentle, be calm with your mind. You can let go. Everything will be okay. We will be okay. Everything is fine, and we love you. And they shared moments of peace. They shared memories of peace. And for me, that's just very touching. And again, it just highlights the fact that all these things that we worry about, and of course, they're real things, but at the end of the day, you can't take any of those things. So coming into the new year, I would just say to live your life carefully, to do your best. And in Buddhism, what they do teach you is each day, keep your precept, keep your morality, the actions, the choices, and the words, the thoughts that you engage in that impacts your world. So really take the time to live a life where you're not causing harm to other people or yourself. So again, just keeping the morality, keeping the integrity, making choices, speaking with integrity. Second thing that in Buddhism that they teach us is to give. Take the time to share with other people. Take the time to do offerings. Take the time to help other people. And this act of generosity is how you get rid of anger. It gets rid of the resentment. It gets rid of those heavy things that you still may carry. So this is one of the antidotes. And why should you give? Because many people will wait. Well, I'm going to wait till I have more money. I'm going to wait till I have more time. I'm going to wait when it's the right time. I'm going to wait until my children graduate from college. Well, how do you know that time is still given to you? So again, when you still have that, do the best you can to give. And then the third thing in Buddhism is that to meditate. And we see many people who, again, living in this physical world. Of course, you want to make money. Of course, you want to sustain your living, and that's okay. But also take the time to develop your mind, because this is the lens that you're looking at the world. So with the previous things that I talk about, we still carry this attitude of, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait when I'm older so I can meditate, when I have more time, when my business is finished, when this part of my life is finished, then I will start a meditation practice. But for me, we've seen where people come in and they're older now, and when they are ready to sit, physically, they can't even sit. Like their body is just more fragile, And it's like then you start to have more health problems. And then by the time you think you're ready to, then it's too late, or it can be harder when you have physical issues. So for me, when you're young, when you're healthy, when you're able-bodied, when you have an opportunity, do these things. And in Buddhism, they outline it this way. So again, just holding your precepts, being integrous, giving your time, giving your energy, giving your resources if possible. And then the last thing is meditation and purifying the mind. So for me, I can go through many scenarios, but I think at this point in the game, I feel like you know yourself, you know your situation better, and understand what the situation exposed was really impermanence. Life is very fragile. Life is very volatile, and we need to do the best we can, and then also integrate another teaching of Buddhism, and that's middle way. Find your balance. You know your life. You know your situation. So balance can come in the form of your finances. Balance can come in the form of your time. How much time do you spend with your friends? What is too much? What is a point where you need to pull back and cultivate your own training? But I don't want to run through the list, but I think you can apply these lessons of making sure it's a middle way, not too extreme and not too loose, and go through that in your own life. And then also don't be reckless. And life may seem long, but it's not in the big scheme of it. So knowing this information, knowing that this year is coming up and that crisis may happen, the world will change, you will change. And when you have the time, when you are able-bodied and you can still move and you're still alive and breathing in a healthy way, take the time and diligently do your work. One last thing that I can add is what can guide you through this path. And really through this path, I would say, go back and revisit. What are your values? What do you stand for? Reflect on what is important to you. Is it family time? Is it self-care? Is it taking time to meditate and to give? Is it to be a good person? I'm not sure what this is for you because it's different for each person. But what I'm saying is reflect and contemplate this upcoming year. What are my values? And then make an effort to live by those values. Because other than that, what are we working for? You can have more things. You can have more money. You can have more, but for what? But for what? Social media, okay, great. You have 100,000 followers. You have 100,000 friends. What do you need? 200,000, 400,000, 600,000? When is enough enough? And two, you can be successful in getting that. In the physical world now, there are so many tools, so many things to helping you achieve your goal. But my question that I always ask people is, for what? At the end of the day. And I get reminded of this because, again, sitting with the families who are watching their loved ones pass away, and it just, again, reminds me of the opportunity that we have to live our life as most fulfilled, as doing our best to leave a legacy and to leave an imprint on the world. So this was a lot of rambling, but just feeling touched this week with the family that I met. And it just reminds me that my heart goes out to everyone out there who is going through a difficult time. So please hang in there. And this kind of crisis gives us an opportunity again to reflect on what is really important. Am I living a life that aligns with who I am and by my nature? And if you are not, that's okay. But it gives you an opportunity to course correct. So hopefully this coming year will be a year of opening, a year of clarity, and I just want to send you the best wishes. So may everyone be happy, healthy, strong. May you be free of ill will and harm and suffering. So Happy New Year and good luck.